Ooh. It's 9 o'clock, and we're listening to, or you're listening to, Jim and Friends Read the News. My name is Jim Van Venner, and I am the producer of this show. The things you will hear over the next hour represent the views of Jim and Friends Read the News, and the people making them. All opinions and quotations in no way represent River West Radio and are the sole responsibility of the producer, guests, and callers. River West Radio is not liable for any legal issues arising from the content of this program. And today we have Gabe Hammer and Zavla Play in the studio with us. So, how's everyone doing? Busy?
Yeah. I'm okay. I mean, I'm busy, but not terribly.
Gabe?
I've been doing a lot of reading these days.
Doing a lot of reading. What you reading?
I just, I'm on the third book of Hunger Games right now.
Oh, okay. How is that going?
That's a really entertaining book. I think the third one's not as good as the last one. I think the last one's not quite as good as the first one.
All right.
Overall, it's a nice, I like to compare them to the first, or I guess technically it'd be the last 3 episodes of Star Wars, but they're really the first ones,
Right.
But some of the character-based, interactions and stuff like that.
All right.
So.
Well, there you go. That's our book review portion of the show. We haven't done one of those yet.
Yeah.
As it's the beginning of the show, let's go right into my favorite, Packers news. So the Packers made their cuts. They are down to their 53-man roster now, and they are ready to play football.
Yeah.
Yep. So they play they played the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday at 3 o'clock. Not today, of course, but next Sunday. So the NFL season starts on Wednesday. So it's kickoff night Wednesday. They do that for some strange reason. They just start the season on a Wednesday now. We have midweek. It must be, I bet you it's a ratings TV thing.
Yeah, it must be.
NFL is mostly dictated by the television stations for their schedule.
Yeah,
nowadays.
in fact, I was on the Packerverse, which is Nick Kovac. Oh, actually, I don't know if I'm supposed to say his name. Anyway, I was on the the Packerverse show, and I didn't know anything about the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
And he taught me a lot. And I actually talked about how you brought up that there's a salary cap for football, and that I was kind of impressed with that, considering we live in such a society that normally, these people make just tons and tons of money. And
did he bring up the revenue sharing?
Yeah, he talked about. Well, he's an owner.
Oh, okay, so he's a stockholder.
Yeah, he's a stockholder of the Packers.
All right.
And he went up there for the summer training or whatever. He was up there, and up in Green Bay, and he talked about San Francisco, the first game, but anyway, it's worth checking out the Packerverse. It's Wednesdays at 7 p.m.
Oh, there you go.
Good show.
Well, they're going to be in competition with the Packer kickoff this coming week. Then, I wonder if they'll keep updates of the NFL out there.
Is that because
do we have a
happen
TV
at
hookup
7?
here? I was wondering about that.
Could. I mean, we don't have cable here. Yeah, we don't have cable TV.
But you just bring in a TV and put some
bring one of those
on
ones
it.
you bring to the stadium, one of those portable TVs.
Right? Yeah.
All you need is a sound, really.
Yep. Very true. Just a radio.
Yeah.
Radio.
Yeah. Radio.
So anyway, so the Packers are ready to go. It's probably enough on the Packers for now. We are in season though. I have my fantasy football draft coming up tomorrow. 16 years strong.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So this is the 16th year you're doing
16th
fantasy?
year of fantasy football this year.
Or that it's existed?
No, of our fantasy football. I have got uncles who have done it since the early 70s.
You've been doing it since you're 14 years old?
Yep.
Nice.
About 14. Yeah.
Well,
that'd be what.
This is a stupid question. What is fantasy football?
Really simply is you pick people that play football.
Yeah.
And you put a roster like a quarterback, a running back, and receivers together, and depending on which one you're in, is how many of those you play a week, and how they do statistically gets you points.
But I mean, what if they don't do what you say they're gonna do?
Oh, so you're not saying they're gonna do anything. You're just guessing that they're gonna have a good game. So say I play like one of the Packers, Cedric Benson, who's a running back.
Yeah.
And I play him, and he gets 100 yards and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I get 10 points because I get 1 point for every 10 yards that he runs.
Oh, I see.
And 6 points for a touchdown that he scored.
Uh-huh.
So he would have scored me 16 points.
I see.
And then you just add that all up.
And
so
then you compare each other's
You
predictions.
Yep.
I see.
So
it's a little bit like horse racing.
It's all it's got a lot like horse racing, I think. On it.
You consider it to be gambling?
Yeah, it's gambling.
There's money involved?
Yeah, there's money.
Oh,
well,
okay. That makes it more interesting.
Yeah, there's money involved, but it's that you buy into it to begin with.
Oh,
and then
I
there's
see.
pay it at the
So
end.
it's like
it's not
it's
not weekly betting. It's not like sport. It's not like Vegas.
Yeah, it's like what's that thing they play at bars where everyone pays into a
Oh,
pot?
the numbers like you get your
Shake a day.
Like a shake a day. There's
Yeah.
numbers you can do for football games too, where you get just numbers and whatever the end of the first quarter, halftime, third quarter, and end of the game is.
Mhm.
Whoever has the right numbers gets paid.
I see.
It's just like a lottery. Anyway, so enough on football.
Yeah.
Moving on to
This week in the news.
this week in the news. Well, I got a nice one here. Actually, I'm gonna pass you an article to take a peek at while I do this one. But I have here. This is from Yahoo Finance. Always the good people at Yahoo. Or actually CNBC, they took it from. So that's nice. So CNBC, Robert Frank did the article, and then Yahoo Finance took the article and posted it to Yahoo, and now I take their article and put it on Jim and Friends Read the News.
I
So-
see.
So it's all just taking stuff. Drink less, work more. Billionaire tells the non-rich.
Oh yeah, this is
Did-
the woman from Australia, right?
Yeah, Gina Reinhart.
Yeah.
And Gina Reinhart she's from Australia, and she's a mining heiress.
Right.
Worth $19 billion.
The richest woman on earth, right?
Richest woman on earth. Telling it
She's
how it is.
richer than the Waltons.
Right.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, I guess the
Um,
Waltons are a big family.
Yeah, and this is what she has to say. There is no monopoly on becoming a millionaire, she writes. If you're jealous of someone with more money, don't just sit there and complain. Do something to make more money and spend less time drinking or smoking and socializing and more time working.
And didn't
That's
she inherit all her money?
She inherited it all. And not only did she inherit it all,
Did
she
she say
also
millionaire or billionaire?
billion, 19 billion with a B.
But I mean, did she say there's no monopoly on becoming
On becoming a she said millionaire,
'cause
but she's a
becoming a
billion.
millionaire nowadays is probably not that rich. It's not like it
No.
was in the old days.
No, to be in the top,
Inflation adjusted dollar wise.
if you are 40 years old, you have to have over 5.6-ish million dollars to be in the top 1%.
Oh really?
I heard that. I don't remember where.
that's really one
and
out
my
of 100.
number might not be about right, but for the sake of being, it's like $6 million.
Right.
You have to have like $6 million to be in the top 1%.
Yeah.
They said at the age of 40. I don't know, but for some reason,
Age has something to do with
it. Maybe they take in account how much money they expect that to be worth in the future because of
Strange.
I don't know. They said
Yeah, I don't get
top
that.
40. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, $6 million to get in that top 1%.
Yeah, so that's
So if you want to be in the elite club
yeah,
down at the yacht club or something,
right.
you gotta
Yeah.
be worth $6 million, at least.
But
But-
I feel like, okay, well, I guess if she's talking about millionaire, that's not that. There's a lot of millionaires in the world. And also we're talking U.S. dollars. She's Australian. Maybe she's talking about Australian dollars.
It's about the same.
Oh, they're not like the euro.
U.S. dollars and American dollars are about the same.
You mean Australian and American?
Yeah, I believe they call Australian dollars dollars.
Australian dollars, not not. What do they call it in England? Pounds. They don't.
No, it's not a pound.
Australian
they call
pound.
it,
No.
they're a dollar.
It's an Australian dollar. Well,
Pretty sure. Let me double check that. But
the point I was gonna make is that she says it's not a monopoly, and that's kind of a tricky question because, if everyone, let's say, if everyone on the planet, like somehow became a millionaire, then what would being a millionaire be anymore?
Right.
I mean, you can't really, in a sense, you can't
All
have.
your money would go way down.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
it's just
dollars,
inflation.
You can't. If everyone was suddenly as rich as the richest person in the world, then everyone would be equal, and there would be no such thing as a rich person. The only way that you can be rich is if you have a significantly higher amount of money than other people.
And we don't want that. We want there to be definite separation, right?
So in a sense,
otherwise, you're talking like communism or socialism or something.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just a tricky question. If she says
Capitalism
everyone,
is based on
if
a
everyone
caste
just works
system.
a little harder, we can all become as rich as she is.
But that's not
you
true.
know. And if we stop drinking and partying, we'd
Apparently.
all get as rich as she is. Well, if that was true, then what would happen? I mean, you can't. She would become poor, or
Right.
we would all. I mean, we can't all be rich like her because to be rich means to use more resources than the average person is capable of using.
Correct.
So
And it is the Australian dollar.
It is the Australian dollar.
And it is worth one Australian dollar is equal to 1.0323 US dollars.
Wow, that's really close.
Very close. So it is worth. Wait, does that mean it's worth less or more now? It's worth
it's
more.
worth less.
Right?
1 to 1.3.
1.03.
Oh yeah, one. Well, that's so close.
It's
Um,
and it could change tomorrow. So we'll
yeah.
say they're the
Yeah,
same.
they're the same. There's parity.
Yeah. Anyway, but the funny thing, of course, about it is she inherited it all.
Yeah, she didn't work.
She
for
didn't
it.
work. No,
She could have
and-
drank and partied all she
Right.
wanted. She'd be the
yeah.
same.
They got a picture of her here.
Yeah.
You remember the Goonies?
Uh-huh.
Remember the old lady who was like the villain
The
in the
mean-
Goonies, the
uh-huh.
mean old lady?
Yeah, yeah.
Spitting image. That looks just like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Much.
on a different note. Yeah. But no. So she inherited it all, and then not only did she inherit it all, she also then, in order to become that ridiculously rich, sued her own family into getting more of the money. I'm trying to find that part of it.
Wow. She's a depressed person. I think.
Yeah. No, well, it was probably on the other page. I only printed off one page. But anyway, yeah. So there was then like she didn't even just inherit it all. She also had to like kind of backstab her own family into getting $19 billion worth of work.
Wow.
But she's telling everyone to drink less and work more.
And party less too.
Probably, yeah, and party less. I'm sure there's. She didn't mention the legal action required in acquiring that kind of wealth as well.
Right.
It's like in order to get
Well, that's a
rich
pretty
like
typical. What's
in
that?
order to get rich like that, it seems like you have to screw like
Yeah.
one or two people over.
I think
Yeah,
There
but-
Will Be Blood kind of covered that.
Yeah.
In order to get really filthy rich, you got to be willing to screw people over, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like was the moral of the story.
Yeah, I would say the same with Bill Gates.
Yeah. You got to
I mean,
screw someone if you're going to take
Microsoft
up
did
that
all
much
kinds
money.
of terrible stuff.
Facebook.
Some people get rich. I mean,
yeah, Facebook. He didn't help anyone there, did he?
or like for example, Buffett.
No.
Warren Buffett, he's a good guy and he does the right, he seems like a decent person and so
Uh-huh.
on. And I don't know if he's ever really done anything
Thing
like
real.
malicious,
Right.
but he doesn't question who he invests in, and he'll
Right.
invest in whatever makes money. So he
Mhm.
invests in these, kind of companies that have have done bad things. So
Oh,
then
right.
it's like maybe he's not doing anything wrong, but
But he doesn't have a problem.
like
Picking back
if
off
he
of
had a conscience
other-
about what he invested in,
Right.
he probably wouldn't be as rich either.
Yeah, this is very true.
If he invested
Anyway.
with a conscience, that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna be, yeah, you can't be nice and be rich at the same time. I guess.
Yeah, well, I
At
think
least it's really hard.
you can. I think you can, but I think that to be like
you win the
ridiculously-
lottery.
Well, I think that
Yeah.
I mean Warren Buffett is a really nice person.
Yeah.
Like if you ever
It's
seen
not-
him
yeah,
in
I've
an
seen
interview,
interviews.
he's a pretty. He
Mhm.
seems like a pretty decent human being, but still, if you look at what Berkshire, I forget what it is, Berkshire something investments, Berkshire Hathaway,
I'll look up Warren Buffett.
they they don't invest with any kind of conscience whatsoever.
Well, no,
you
they're
know?
just out to make money.
They're going for the money. They basically are like playing a board game.
Berkshire
Yeah.
Hathaway.
Yeah, Berkshire Hathaway.
So
So how about some
So-
updates on Hurricane Isaac down in New Orleans?
Oh, do you have one?
Well, yeah. Looks like the levees around New Orleans, post Katrina, held up pretty well. I don't know, I know some people that might be listening in right now. They should call in if they have any, updates on stuff. But
Do they live down there?
Yeah, my cousin. He's,
Oh.
He's one of the news reporters out there.
Oh wow, that'd be great to
Also-
have him on the air.
Yeah, that would be amazing. But I was thinking my friend Brian, he's out there, the pedicab driver, but he stuck it out.
Uh huh.
And I guess today was when they first got their power back on.
Oh wow.
So, the damage was significantly less than Katrina, but yet it still had about the same height. The waves were about the same height and the same power when they got to the shore. And not to say that damage wasn't done, because there were like trenches 9 feet deep, still filled with water, and
Yeah.
some people died too. There were houses that got flooded.
Yeah.
People that weren't quite as able to get out of there or get on their roofs. Older people.
Uh huh.
But as far as I know, the damage isn't as bad. One house fell that I know of for sure, but it was one that only had 3 walls.
Oh.
So it fell on some cars. It was like a rickety house that no one. It was owned by someone high up, but they didn't really put much care into restoring it like they originally planned. So that's sort of what happened with that. So,
Huh.
I've been following it a little bit. It looks like.
I hear a lot of just no electricity. I did talk to my friend Mike called. He saying he's on a hurricane because no one's at work and stuff because no one has electricity anywhere.
Yeah.
I guess the French Quarter does. So they'll go there to like get a hot meal or stuff. But
Right.
a lot of just people without electricity. Got the opera?
No, I'm keeping an eye on the store at the same time as
right.
I'm doing the show.
Yeah. Hey, I was
it
gonna do
seems like definitely improvements have been made since Katrina.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, the flood wall seems to be a lot sturdier.
Well, I would say, it's interesting because Katrina and the earthquake in Haiti, since the earthquake in Haiti, there's been how many, many earthquakes, 7 magnitude earthquakes, and none of them have done the kind of damage that the earthquake in Haiti did, because these things are compounded by poverty and by things like not being properly prepared for such an event to happen. So, Katrina was similar, where the levees broke because we didn't have, the investment wasn't being put properly into securing the levees and all that.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
But now, millions of federal dollars reported to
Sure.
wall.
Yeah. So they're more prepared for it.
Yeah. That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
So.
But it's also kind of weird the way that we're used to, like, every year now, right? Isn't it every year almost that there's a hurricane?
Yeah. It's
Like kind of like
season.
a lot of disasters happening, but it seems worse to me. Maybe it's just the internet and
Oh.
Could blame it on
being more
global
aware of
warming.
it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to ask a meteorologist what the actual
Right.
hurricane.
If there are any
has
meteorologists
been.
out there, please call in
Yeah.
and listen.
I got an interesting story here, though. So this is another Be Forewarned story. Fix-a-flat butt injection suspect bonds out of Florida jail today. South Florida woman who is accused of injecting people with Fix-a-Flat and other substances in a black market buttock enhancing business was released on bond on Friday. O'Neill Morris, 31, posted $25,000 bond and walked out of the Broward County main jail. Morris's bond was reduced from its original $150,000.
Wait, she called it Fix-a-Flat, or was it really using that stuff?
That's just pouring chemicals into your body.
Yeah. Well, it's part of, so blah, 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 blah. We decided, and I think she was injecting people with Fix-A-Flat in their butt to make their butts better.
That is so.
And what were the results?
Well, they don't say what the results are. I was hoping we get to it. Okay, blah 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 blah. Morris, who police said was born a man and identifies as a woman, was arrested in late July on charges of practicing medicine without a license and manslaughter in the death of Shatakara Nubi, 32. She died in March in Tallahassee from what an assistant medical examiner called massive systematic silicone migration as a result of the cosmetic silicone injections, according to authorities.
Gross.
See, so she killed somebody though.
Oh, so these are these are silicone injections.
Yeah, Fix-A-Flat.
Is Fix-A-Flat
silicone.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think Fix-A-Flat is just like
it's like a foam, isn't it?
Foam. Yeah.
Is it a silicone foam?
But I could see how you might call it Fix-A-Flat.
Yes.
Because you have a flat butt and
Yeah,
you
fix
fix
a
your
flat.
flat butt, and so it's like
no, they said she was
using that
injecting
stuff. Wow.
Fix-A-Flat.
That actual stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Fix-A-Flat.
Hold on. I want to see
Stuff
what
that you put in your
Fix-A-Flat
tire.
is. Yeah, I want to know what it's made out of. Hold on. Ingredients. Yeah, can tell me.
I know that it's dangerous. Like if you
right.
have Fix-A-Flat in your tire, you need to put a sticker on your tire so they don't because it can explode if there's if there's an open flame or anything near the tire
I've used
when
it
you
once
empty
before.
it. Yeah.
If you have a little pinhole leak or something.
What's in Fix-A-Flat? So it's gonna take a minute. But anyway, so anyone out there who's looking to enhance their butt, do not go to this Morris person.
And who is it?
And don't try
And-
Fix-A-Flat. It
yeah.
seems like
Well, it doesn't mean that they necessarily knew they were getting Fix-A-Flat in their butt, though. Because they were going to this Morris person, what was the first name again? O'Neill Morris. To just, to have their butt enhanced.
Yeah.
And they were being injected with Fix-A-Flat.
That's
And they killed somebody, and they got off on bond for $25,000 somehow.
jeez.
Morris maintains she had nothing to do with the death of Nubi, and we intend on proving her innocence in reference to the particular case, her lawyer says. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's going to not turn out in their favor. But,
yeah, it says here, Fix-A-Flat is made out of low-density plastics like polypropylene and polyethylene.
Yep.
It remains dissolved in a heavy aromatic naphtha, but once Fix-A-Flat is sprayed into a tire, plastic coat and inner surface and plugs the leak. It's a sticky resin, kind of plasticky. That's what it seems like.
Well, there you go. Watch out for Fix-A-Flat in your butt.
Fix-A-Flat in the butt.
But do you got that article there? It
yeah.
might be time to tackle this local.
Well, Paul Ryan's speech.
Yeah, Paul Ryan. All right.
Well, there was Paul Ryan's speech and there was Mitt Romney's speech. Did you guys hear them? Did you hear the?
Not so much. I heard more of the backlash and less of the actual speech.
Oh. Well, they both were pretty. You could see that these people have a good chance at the presidency. Especially Paul Ryan was, I think, a little bit like Sarah Palin. Kind of everyone got, kind of gives everyone a boost. But I also wonder, finally in the end, Sarah Palin didn't really help.
No, I don't think Paul Ryan's actually good for him.
You don't think so?
No, I think he's too, what do you call it?
Extreme?
Too extreme, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know what's going on with all
Yeah, I
that.
think his stance on abortion is pretty damaging to what people think.
Well, he's just he's kind of just an extremist to begin with.
Yeah, it's like
On everything.
Yeah.
Seems like Mitt Romney just picked the most extreme, conservative he could find of all the guys out there. Paul
Although-
Ryan happened to be the guy.
I have a theory that he's trying to piggyback on the Wisconsin Republican win with Scott Walker and all the Republicans.
Right, bringing that
because
Wisconsin thing in.
because the Republicans have done so
That
well
makes sense.
here that he's getting the top Go ahead, Zach. He's getting the top, you know. We're hot right now for a Republican. Wisconsin's the hotbed for Republicans right now. There's no better place to be if you're a Republican than Wisconsin. Yeah. It's kind of sad.
Especially outside the city.
I mean, yeah. Right. Well, not in the city, never.
Right. Not Milwaukee.
Cities aren't really very good Republican hotbeds.
Not
it's funny how that is.
Yeah.
Not when you want to start generalizing. Yeah, as everyone does.
Destroying the schools.
Indeed. So Zav had to go help someone here, but we'll get back to Paul Ryan because he has the article there. But did you have one?
Let's see. All right. Gibbons on helium. Sing like divas. All right. Gibbons are jungle divas. Small apes use the same technique to project their songs through the forest of Southwest Asia as the top soprano singing in the New York Metropolitan Opera or La Scala in Milan. That was the conclusion of research by Japanese scientists who tested the effect of helium gas on gibbon calls to see whether singing changed their voices or sounded abnormally high-pitched. Yeah, just like professional singers, the experiment found that animals were able to amplify the higher sounds by adjusting the shape of their vocal tract, including the shape of their tongue. It is a skill only mastered by few humans, yet gibbons are able to do it with minimal effort. According to Tasheki Nishimura from the Primate Research Institute of Kyoto University, singing is particularly important to gibbons, which use loud calls and songs to communicate across the dense jungle. Their echoes, described by primatologists as duets, can carry as far as 2 kilometers. Our data indicates that acoustics and physiological mechanisms used in gibbon singing are analogous to human soprano singing. So when they sing, it's about the same pitch as a soprano, which would be, you know.
That's the highest, right?
That's not. That's the highest. Soprano is the highest. So think of a high opera singer. So
there should be a monkey orchestra or a monkey choir.
That would be awesome.
A monkey choir. That'd be sweet. Who's the lowest? We got the gibbons or the sopranos.
I would say the apes are the bass.
You gotta have the apes on bass.
The apes
right?
are the bass. Maybe chimps would be the tenor. And,
there you go.
Alto, I don't know. Maybe lower pitch gibbons.
Yeah, we're gonna put together the primate choir.
Opera.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, it says they have voice, you know, comparable to the sopranos. It seems like they use professional operatic technique, according to the study. Professional sopranos' ability to fine-tune their vocal tract resonates allows them to maintain their value when they sing and hit high notes. The fact that gibbons can do the same thing suggests the complexity of human speech may not have needed specific modifications in our vocal anatomy. Making gibbons sing on helium may sound eccentric, but the researchers say that it was a logical way to test how the animals controlled their vocalization, and the resonance frequencies in their vocal tract were shifted upwards. Using the helium environment, we can see how the resonance works and how the gibbons make a loud, pure tonal call. Pretty interesting stuff.
Sounds a little sadistic.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't doing anything to harm them. You know, it's just like if we were to sing with helium, you know, it doesn't seem like mass amounts were used either. As far as this article says, it causes the distinctive effects and you know, much faster vibration. So
wonder when we've. Go ahead.
I was just saying because the sound, moves a lot faster in the helium. So when they project, they get a much higher tone, and they were able to change the shape of their mouth to better amplify the higher tones. So pretty neat stuff that the animals could figure that stuff out.
There we go. Singing animals.
Singing animals.
The singing gibbon.
Operatic technique with the gibbons.
Right? We're gonna get those monkeys singing. Zav is back. Let's get back on the Paul Ryan news.
So
Paul Ryan news.
Well, the thing that
give us some, give us like that's the one.
The most glaring problem with Paul Ryan's speech, off the top of my head, was the fact that he said that under Obama, the Janesville plant was closed. But the fact was that the Janesville plant, which we here in Wisconsin, we're pretty familiar with it. Well, we know that Janesville plant
is in Wisconsin.
We know that Janesville plant closed before Obama was president.
So how was he responsible for something that happened before he became president?
Exactly. So he made this big statement about how Obama, promised that the plant would be brought back to life. Mm-hmm. And then, but lo and behold, the plant got shut down.
Yeah, didn't make it.
So he was right in the sense that Obama never got the plant back up.
Right.
But it was false in the sense that he never really had anything to do with why that plant closed. It closed before he was president.
Right. Well.
Or before his first day in office.
Are you sure he wasn't saying though that he was responsible for it closing while he was senator of Illinois?
That's possible.
Because obviously, the senator of Illinois has more to do with the Janesville plant, of which Paul Ryan is from.
Right.
Right. Paul Ryan.
He's from Janesville.
He's from Janesville. Lives there. I believe he still has his house in Janesville.
Right.
But he did nothing to help that plant.
And
is he not a politician? Isn't that his job?
Right. It's on his block.
I believe it's on his block. You would think.
Yeah.
That's be like me telling or what would it be? I don't know. Telling my neighbor, "Hey, why didn't you fix my plumbing?"
Right. Or because of my plumber. Yeah, my neighbor.
My sink got clogged.
Or it'd be like if you blame the guys who now live in your apartment.
Right.
For clogging your toilet before you moved out.
Before I moved out.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But at the same time, there's a certain, you can take pieces of his argument, make sense, but ultimately, what's scary about it is it wasn't a goof up. It wasn't just some silly mistake.
Oh no, it
was a calculated move. And what it says is we don't care about facts.
Well, no.
All we care about is winning, and we're gonna lie to your faces. Well, and in fact, we're gonna lie to the faces of the people of Janesville who live there.
They've been doing that forever. I think it's scary worse now.
But they've done it
because I think people don't question as much as they used. Or maybe they do. I don't know.
It's this thing where I guess you're right. I mean, it's kind of like the thing with the way that Carter lost. Part of why Carter lost the elections was because of Iran-Contra, where the Republicans were paying the Iranian. They were paying the Contra.
That was what's his name. The guy who actually did this.
Was it Colonel North or was before?
No, it was Oliver North.
Yeah,
that was Oliver North.
I think he was involved.
That
with
was Oliver North.
That the Republicans were using money from the Contras to buy weapons to give to our enemies in Iran, so that they would continue to hold hostage the Americans. So that Reagan would then get elected president because Carter would turn out to look bad. That's the kind of thinking that they do in order to get elected. Yep. So, and this is kind of, not nearly as bad, obviously. It's not a conspiracy, But you can tell they got together. You know, he sat down with the speechwriters and everyone, and they said, "Let's do this thing. Let's go ahead and just say that Janesville was closed by Obama."
I think the scariest thing about that is that politicians are getting they've obviously lost respect for their voters' intelligence levels by far. Like, it used to be that they used to have to feel like they had to make it make sense.
Right.
Now
to everyone, not just to like
make everyone. Now I get the feeling like politicians are just laughing in everyone's faces, and rightfully so. From what a lot of the people, you know, I don't know, from a lot of what I see on television, media, and stuff, like they just eat it up.
Yeah. And actually, the other thing about the speech, and I guess people should just listen to the speech online from both of them, is a lot of the things they say make sense and are true, but they talk about how, you know, they want to correct all the problems that are happening and, you know, make the economy better and all that. But we know at this point that all of this runaway banking, corruption, all of this is part of the same.
Our economy.
Yeah, our whole economic collapse has been implemented by these people, by their policies, and not specifically
cross platform
between Democrats
parties
and Republicans.
Well, that's
so
the
it's
thing,
like,
though.
Yeah, of course
I think they
have a beef with Obama, but I have the same exact beef with Bush and with Romney.
But they have to keep up the illusion that they're actually fighting each other tooth and nail.
They try to pretend that they're like Ron Paul, but they're not.
No,
they squashed Ron Paul. You know, at least Ron Paul, you know, was calling it for what it was. I'm not necessarily a Ron Paul supporter, but at least he's telling it like it is. But the Republicans wouldn't let Ron Paul in. Well, and then they stand up and they try to be like Ron Paul. They try to give the same message, pretend that they're like Ron Paul, but they're not. They're just like Obama, and Obama is just like them because they're all part of the same.
Well, it's all the
same machinery in a way.
Right. It's the same system. Not saying that they're in cahoots with each other, but they're all playing the same games.
They're being kind of guided by the same forces, which is all the money that the big banks and corporations have.
Right.
And the proof is in the fact that I always repeat it, that Obama got more corporate donations than McCain.
Yep.
You know, so it's like those are the people who are paying for them to be in office, basically.
Speaking of that,
they're quite beholden to them.
Speaking of that, there is a comic book coming out there. Check out Kickstarter.com. I might have to go to my Facebook to find the name of it. It's something magician. I'll get back to it on that one. Give me a minute. But yes, it was Oliver North with the Iran-Contra thing. I have him up right now. But there's a Kickstarter that has to do with corporations. So the economy collapses, and corporate just straight out buys out the government. Like, no longer just giving money to politicians. They just straight pay for the government outright. They just buy it to bail it out of its debt.
Oh, I see.
And it's something The Magician. I'll find out in a minute here. I got it from MataCommunityMedia.com.
Oh, really?
MilwaukeeCommunityMedia.com or matamedia.org, your community television station. A guy, he just posted on the site there his comic book that he's looking to put out, and that's what it's about. Come on. His name's Jason Love. And if you go to his Kickstarter, it is at Madman of Magic. That's the name of it. Madman of Magic, the beginning of the end. A bankrupt government turns to corporations for help. Mass corruption follows. A magician is forced to become a hero. So it's a comic book series about corporations. They pay for everything in the government. They take over. Everything becomes privatized.
Right.
So there is no more government anymore. It's all just private, institutions running
Right.
every government function.
Businesses are
Sound
sort
familiar?
of like little governments.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I still don't understand how prisons have been privatized.
Yeah.
Of all the things to privatize,
Yeah, the prison industrial complex.
why would you ever let prisons go to private organizations?
Right.
There should be no profit making
There
in
should be-
prisons.
Right. And there
that's-
should be there should be a
can't-
clause. There
and
should
if-
be a clause that forbids that.
How in the name
Because
ever
clearly
would you be
that's
like
going to turn into slave
allow
labor.
right? There's no way that a private institution should ever want to take that over.
Right.
Because it should be a dead end. Like, it should be a dead-end enterprise.
Right.
You shouldn't be able to make any money in it. You should be constantly losing money in that institution.
Yeah. Yeah.
This be something that you... Right. Anyway.
No, I agree with you on that.
That's something that we all would be helping pay towards to keep people in prison because you don't make any money on it. Now, not to
Yeah.
say that we should just lose money hand over foot. I mean,
Yeah.
you want to try and recoup it some way, but you shouldn't
Right.
be allowing companies to make money on it.
Yeah.
It's not. Anyway. Check out this guy's Kickstarter. I'm gonna tell you how to get to it. If you go, well, I guess that for Kickstarter, you just look up Madman, all one word, of Magic, the beginning of the end, Jason Love, and that should
Hello,
get you.
Kickstarter. My name is Jason Love, the creator of the Mad
Well,
Men
there you
Magic
go.
comic book.
He's starting up his little thing because I went to his page.
Uh huh.
This is the.
So is he,
So this is his
A local
comic book.
guy?
Yes, he is. So yeah, Madman of Magic. But anyway, it's starting at $3. You can to get the comic book. I think it's like a $10 donation for his Kickstarter. You get a PDF for $5, or you actually get the hard copy for $10. Or no, physical copy for an $8 pledge.
It's a political comic book.
Yeah, political comic book. So I'm gonna turn that off for now. But anyway.
You found something else out at MATA this week, right, Jim? Remember you left me a voice message about the pronunciation of Sikh?
Oh yes, no, we have to. Okay, so we have to retract.
Redact.
Yeah, something. So it is not Sikh, as it turns out. It's sick.
Turns out that it is
It
sick.
is sick. I
think
was
it's probably
covering
both,
a
but-
Rotary meeting
Mhm.
for work, and there were two Sikh members who
Uh-huh.
were explaining their religion to the Rotary.
Right.
And they confirmed that it is sick. What happened though was, of course, when the British were doing their thing,
Yeah.
colonizing the world, doing their
British.
best Alexander the Great impression.
The garage. Just park it in the garage.
Right. So what they did was, there was already a word for sick, of course, as we know, sick, and it had bad connotations. So they told the sick to not. That they changed it for them.
I see.
And went Sikh.
So Sikh was
Sikh was the British.
imposed by the British.
It was imposed by the British on the Sikh, and so that is why they've been saying that it could be pronounced either way. That is why
Uh-huh.
it was originally Sikh, then it got changed
To
for
Sikh.
them to Sikh, kind of.
And then it
now
got
it's
changed
and-
back
and
to
now it
Sikh
went back
by
to Sikh,
our,
but people still call it Sikh because it's been so many years that people were just calling it Sikh.
Uh-huh.
So now
Yes.
they kind of just roll with it.
You guys hear about Obama's beer brewing?
Obama's brewing beer
Yeah, he's brewing beer, and he came to
in the
like-
White House.
Yeah, in the White House. And
That's awesome.
He came to Wisconsin, and he was like giving out his beers, but like they won't give the recipe out, and like hundreds of people were messaging the White House about this one.
He won't give his. Well, no, he shouldn't have to give
Oh
out
yeah,
his
they
recipe.
don't give out the recipe, but you know, I think it's his attempt to kind of relate with your common man.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Oh, okay.
He likes
I
to
see.
drink beer.
Yeah, it's too bad. Is everything that presidents do now is this calculated?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think he generally enjoys beer, though. You know, like.
Right. They probably sit down and say, "Hey, what are some of your hobbies? What are some things you like,
Yeah.
Brock? Tell us some of
We
the
don't
things
want
you
a
like."
drunk for president.
Oh, you like brewing beer? Okay, well that's gonna work. Well, that's gonna play well with Wisconsin or something.
Yeah. He went out to Wisconsin with his beers.
That's too bad.
I guess they released the recipe though finally, revealing the executive branch's penchant for honey-flavored brews.
Oh,
So it's a lot of honey-flavored brews.
He should try mead.
Oh yeah, mead's good stuff.
Mead, yeah, it's very honey
This
based.
is beer though. This isn't like straight up honey liquor like mead.
I want to try making mead.
It's pretty good.
It's expensive.
Because you gotta buy a lot of honey.
Yeah.
Takes a long time to really make true mead, I hear.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I guess.
I want to start one of those up.
It sounds
I hear
really
it's
good.
easier than beer. Beer is actually more it's more steps.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Probably. Mead is a very old drink. So.
Yeah, it's kind of put it
Also,
together and let it sit there for a while.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on it, kind of.
Speaking of Obama, he also had a meeting with Clint Eastwood earlier this week.
Oh, he sure did.
This was on the news. I guess
Oh, I see that. Yeah, that
he's a
fictional.
huge fan of Clint Eastwood.
Is this wait? Is this Onion?
Here's a little article here on what is this? This is Yahoo News here.
Okay.
He says he's a huge fan of Clint Eastwood. He's a great actor and even better director. The president told a paper aboard Air Force One on Saturday. I think the last few movies he made have been terrific.
All right. So I guess
When was this published?
This was published.
This is in reaction
8
to?
hours ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is
That
in
must be in
reaction to-
reaction.
So he's
Reaction,
just
yeah.
saying he doesn't care that
So-
Clint had a weird empty chair
Yeah.
meeting with him.
Well, also Clint Eastwood was pretty harsh. He kind of was harsh on Obama.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That was just.
I mean, he was
That was
kind
the
of
point.
made. You know what I didn't like about the Clint Eastwood? Well, there's a lot of problems with Clint Eastwood's speech, but again, what was problematic to me is the kind of thing. I think something's problematic when I think, well, if he was on my side and sort of like making a case for the point of view that I have, I still would sort of be uncomfortable with the way that he approached it. He basically made it seem like Obama was just a jerk. And
Yeah.
and it was just like it could be anyone. Like he was just making him out to be this caricature that he's not. And it's like, well, that's not a political point.
Right.
You know,
The
to just
Republicans love
sort
that.
of turn someone
Oh.
into a jerk. And as far as I've ever seen, I've never really seen Obama behave in a kind of nasty way.
Well, like we
publicly.
said before, are they really out for political points these days, or are they just out to make people look like jerks? I
Yeah,
think
or
that
is
the
it just
main
getting down
objective.
to sort of like cheap shots? And that's
Well,
why I always think that people,
Throw that mud in his face.
right.
Quick.
I just think it's always important not to even go there. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's who I would support politically more is someone who just isn't going to go there.
Ooh,
You know?
speaking of not going there, we're gonna find something out soon. In just a few weeks, some kind of UFO-related secrets will be revealed at a Smithsonian Institution affiliated museum. It's the implied promise in the title of a special lecture coming up at the National Atomic Testing Museum in Las Vegas on September 22nd. So September 22nd, we're going to find out some UFO files. The secrets haven't been revealed because why?
They're
would you-
secrets.
right. That kind of goes without saying. But the players involved certainly present the potential for something intriguing to emerge from this one-night event that's part of the museum's ongoing Area 51 lecture series. So September 22nd in Las Vegas, the National Atomic Testing Museum, special lecture on aliens in Area 51 coming up. So pay attention to that.
And in
I like
addition
to
to that, I just realized when you brought that up, I was thinking, oh yeah, we have some announcements.
Oh, we got announcements.
And I'll go get the ones. We have maybe some newer ones in our box as well. But two announcements I could just tell you right off the bat, even though I don't want to bore people.
No announcements.
September 28th, we're doing a fundraiser
yep.
for the radio station. That's today's September 1st, so 26 days from now. It's going to be a Friday at Linneman's. Starts at 8 p.m. until close, and we're going to try to raise money to keep running the radio station and pay for a lot of operating costs, which we haven't so far. We haven't raised any money, and we started in March,
didn't.
and we're into September. So we've been operating for quite a while with
On
basically
zero.
no budget, just things that were donated. And that's the other thing is people don't necessarily even need to donate money, but like we need things like headphones all the time. We
Oh,
could
yeah.
use extra sets of headphones, things like other kinds of audio equipment.
Anything
and
like
we'll
that.
probably be putting up lists of things that we need. And we also can use volunteer. We can use help from people to help run the radio station and help do things like fundraise.
And that is September 8th at Linneman, starting
September
at
28th.
Oh, 28th. I'm sorry.
28th.
Oh, the 8th is something else.
Yeah,
Which you're gonna say
September
next.
8th, 20 days before
I'm sorry,
that, next Saturday.
So September 28th at Linneman, starting at
Friday, September 28th at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Is going to be our fundraiser, and
right.
we're gonna have all the different kinds of talent from the radio station are going to be there. So we have a lot of musicians. Chuck and Santiago, who are coming up in about 10 minutes, are going to do a presentation.
Real quick.
And we'll have all kinds of other groups and people, including the Freddie Lee Band, which he's a big part of one of the shows that's on Wednesdays at 8, Compose Yourself. Also, coming up, Center Street Days, which is next Saturday.
Yep.
Next Saturday, so 6 days from today, we're going to have the teepee set up in Center Street from about around 11 a.m. until sundown. We'll have the teepee up, and we'll set up the radio station in the teepee so people can come visit us in the teepee on the street.
All right. I got an announcement here. Anyone want a production designer for your film? Email SuzPeterson@gmail.com. And then more advice here. Let the bugs roam free from the havoc that humans have cursed upon all creatures. Check out mediocritytv.com. What I want: a small house with many trees and someone to help me rake up all the leaves. The only constant is change. Or like we said before, Center Street Days again, September 8th from 11 to 7, 5 stages of music, a kart race at 11, dodgeball at 3. And high big butts. They must have been going to get that Fix-A-Flat.
Yeah, that's right.
So all that's going on. Also, Tamarick Waldorf School starts soon. I can't wait to see my friends. So everyone at Tamarick Waldorf, welcome back to school, kids.
All right, good stuff. Is there something on the back of that?
Yeah, there's too much. It's like one of those things you got like.
Oh, that's a play that's coming up.
Oh, it's a play coming up? Okay.
Yeah, and those people actually were on the radio. They talked about that play on a show recently. What's the title?
Go to
The Punk Play.
brownpapertickets.com is going to help you. It's a punk play.
Yeah, it sounds really good.
Yeah, www.brownpapertickets.com, and there's a lot of information on here. Kind of like disorienting, actually, a little
Overwhelming amount.
Yeah,
of
overwhelming. That's.
But
the
it's
one.
called The Punk Play, and it's going to be at the CCC, and it's going to be at Bucket Works.
There we go.
Yeah.
And there's a big one here. Steve McKay Trio at the Jazz. Wait.
The Jazz
North
Gallery.
Peak. It is at the Jazz Gallery. Yes, September 19th at the Milwaukee Jazz Gallery.
Huh.
Yeah, so a lot of announcements. This has been a very announcement-filled.
Yeah,
First
Jim and
internet,
Friends.
first internet cat video film fest at nation's most prominent institutions for
we only got-
contemporary art of success. As a devout cat fan, count me in for the next year. Just a quick little blurb here. Cat Video Fan Fest.
Cat video. I saw a cat circus once in New Orleans. Speaking of that,
So I guess we're
They're
down
from-
to our last.
we got 1
here.
minute here. The cat circus lady is in Illinois, Chicago. Check out
Cat Circus.
Cat Circus. It's around.
She
Check out
might
Cat
be
Circus.
involved in the video fest.
Yeah,
It's
we don't know.
Walker Art Center. That's where the fest is. Trying to figure out where that's at.
All right. Well,
right, well,
in
coming
that
up-
we have to go ahead.
Well, no, I just was gonna announce Santiago and Chuck and friends are gonna be
Yes.
up real
As
soon.
always, stay tuned for that. Otherwise, today is September 2nd. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, September 2nd. Wow.
Sunday.
My goodness.
Tomorrow's
Time flies.
Memorial Day weekend. This is Memorial Day weekend.
Enjoy.
I don't think anyone needs me.
It's Labor Day.
Oh, is it Labor Day?
Labor Day.
Oh, it's Labor Day. Oh, great. I can. That's a good thing. I have a Labor Day sign I got to put up.
Yeah, all right. So on that note, thank you, Zav. Thank you, Gabe. This is Jim Van Vunderen. We are out of here. Stay tuned for Chuck and Santiago. Goodbye.
Bye.